Welcome back to the channel. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about using live mode on the Nord Grand 2. What you're about to watch is an edit of some of the content from my masterclass video training course for the Nord Grand 2. If you like what you see, you want to know more, I expand even more in the training course. Over 8.5 hours of content specifically focused on walking you through every single aspect of the Nord Grand 2. You can get that links in the description below. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. We're going to be talking all about live mode here on the Nord Grand 2. Now, I look at the Nord Grand 2 as a really awesome digital piano, whether it's sitting at home or you're using it in the studio or even on stage. And yes, this big old thing works well on stage. I've actually used it myself, and it's been a fantastic stage board, even though it's heavy, I will admit. But then it's solid on stage. It really sits well, and it really mixes into the sound really good. But what's really helpful when we talk about live use is this feature called live mode. We can turn live mode on and off by just tapping the live mode button. You'll notice when it's on, our screen switches to the live mode screen, and we have a little green LED that's lit up on live mode and a green LED over the first slot. So within live mode, we have 6 live mode slots, and these slots function differently than regular program slots. So when you make a change to a program, let's just come out of live mode by tapping on the live mode button again. Let's say we come in here, we've got this A66 Pearl Drops program. Let's say we come into our sample synth layer, we bring that up. So we've made some adjustments. Let's say we move away from that program and then we come back to that A66 Pearl Drops program. Now listen, all the adjustments we made are gone because we didn't store that to the program slot. Now the difference with programs in live mode is if we come into live mode, and let's just take live mode 1, which is a white grand. Let's say we come in here and we add some reverb. Let's do some nice cloud. And then we add a layer of strings. Now let's say we move away to live program slot 2, which in this case is a felt upright. We come back to live mode slot 1. Notice everything is exactly the way we left it. So we have all of the adjustments we made were automatically and instantly saved to that live mode slot. We can move away, come back, we can leave live mode, we can come back into live mode, we can turn the Nord Grand 2 off and back on again, and every adjustment we make is instantly saved live on the fly. So that's really why it's called live mode, is because every change we make live is instantly saved, so when we move away and come back, we don't have to worry about tapping store. Now, if we talk in context of how we might use this, I use this in a live situation where I'll set up 6 sounds here in live mode. And then let's say I'm playing a song, I've got this piano with the strings, and as I get to the end of the song, I want to fade those strings out. And I want to start the next song with, let's say, just the piano and then fade those strings in again. If I was using a program where I was switching from one program to the next, it's going to load up that program exactly how it was stored. So if it was stored with the strings up, it'll load with the strings up. Whereas if I'm playing a song here, come to the end and I fade off that string, then I move over to my felt upright, I start the next song. And then I come back, I start the next song, and I want to just go with piano and then fade the strings in. Notice strings are already down. So we can start to use live mode in a way that allows us to kind of bring a sound down, move away, come back, bring the sound up. It's saving everything we do. The way we leave the sound is the way we come back to the sound. So this can be a little bit to get used to if you're not used to sound functioning this way. You know, I can't just move away and come back and reload whatever was saved, because what was saved is exactly the way that I left. And so hopefully that makes sense on live mode. I will say that the live mode exists on the Nord Stage 3 and the Nord Stage 4. And I use that as kind of my running, working palette for my sounds. I'll constantly be adjusting and tweaking them, making those sounds and programs better. And then I'll save those into programs every once in a while to back them up. But I kind of live in live mode, especially when I'm playing in church. I'll have my staple sound set up here, and then I'm constantly tweaking and adjusting those so that next service, all of those changes are there. I don't have to worry about hitting store. It's a really nice feature to have, but it takes a little getting used to kind of know the difference between a regular program slot, which every time you go to that is going to load up whatever's saved, versus a live mode slot that's always going to be the way you left it. And so it's nice not to have to tap store, but it is a little getting used to. So let's go exit live mode. If you're already in there, if the green LED is lit, you're in live mode. The screen's going to reflect that as well with live 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whichever one you're on. These buttons under the screen correspond with the 6 live mode slots we have. Let's exit live mode by tapping on the live mode button, bringing us back to our regular programs slot here. So A66. If you're not there, grab whichever program you want. I'm going to use A66 in this example. It's a cool little delay type piano electric piano pad sound. Now let's take the scenario where we want to bring this A66 into one of our live mode slots, and we don't want to have to build the sound from scratch because there's a lot of adjustments, effects, and things that have been added to build out this program. We just want to take this and copy it into our number 1 live mode slot. So to do this, really easy. All we've got to do is make sure we're on the program we want to bring into the live mode slot. We're going to tap on the store button up here, the red store button, and you'll notice it says store program to, and currently it defaults to the exact location you're at. So this works well if you make an adjustment, you want to overwrite the program that's there, it defaults to that. To overwrite, all we have to do is tap store again. But instead, we're going to tap on the live mode button while we're in the store setting. And you'll notice it says store program to live 1. And now we can pick which live mode slot we want to store that program into. So again, let me exit out of this. To save this program in, tap store and then tap live mode. And that is going to store the program to whichever live mode slot we have selected down here. So we're going to say live mode 1. And then to commit this, all we do is tap store one last time. Now in our live 1 slot, it defaulted to turning live mode on again. We have this program. Which right now is exactly the same if we turn live mode off and go back to A66. Exactly the same. So coming back into live mode, let's tap on live mode again. Now we've got this program in live mode where we can start to make adjustments. Maybe we could take the delay down. The great thing with live mode is we don't have to store anything. It's automatically stored. So if we leave live mode and we play the original A66, come into live mode, we play our modified one. Notice the shorter delay. We didn't have to store that like we would have in a normal program. We could just take and you continue to modify and build this and tweak it into a brand new program using the original program as the basis. So hopefully that was helpful in giving you some context around how live mode differs from regular programs and how you can use that in a live context. Again, if you're curious on learning more about the Nordgrand 2, and rather than reading through the owner's manual, you'd rather watch a video course, you can grab that on my website, or you can click here to learn a little bit more about that. If you have any questions about what we went over in today's video, feel free to throw those down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching, stay inspired, and keep making that music.